Hello everybody and welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB and we're here for something very, very new and something very, very different. Yes, we're back here in Catalonia for the pre-season test, but for a division that you guys don't know about yet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GP3 testing procedure for the next season of SpeedForce Racing, and I'm so delighted to announce alongside me in the commentary booth for tonight's test is one, he's a daring driver. He's aiming to be champion in GP2, but this is the first time we've had to talk to him in a while, mid-season. Hello, Hal. How are you doing?
Doing great. What about you?
Doing very well. Testing out a new headset, so this is also a test for me to see how my new headset does on stream versus everyone else. So hopefully there's no echo, there's no static, so everyone's all happy as Larry. I can hear Hal, who, if you don't know, is T. Jonas, and he's somewhat good at this Formula One game. So mate, GP3 is something that we didn't really see coming. It's exciting to think that we're going to have potentially three divisions come, I think, August this year, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully it will be a success and we'll get or the drivers will be clean and yeah, I'm excited for it and hopefully they put up a good show.
It really will be a good one. So, just for test procedures tonight, we have got ghosting on. The rules and flags are on. The race starts at manual as normal. We have full setup. So weather is on custom. So I don't know what the weather is going to be like. We'll have to ask Cal in a minute. The vehicle damage is on reduced, and the race is only going to be 25% of the normal race procedure. But we still have full qualifying, and obviously we're using modern Formula One cars, or modern as we can get versus last year's cars. You haven't released a new game yet. So, how? Three divisions. That really does build on the fact that drivers are now going to be able to climb up the ranks from GP3 up into the Premier Division now in SFR. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It gives a chance for the for more inexperienced and new to the game and also league racing have a chance to start somewhere and from there build their pace, build their racecraft, and then can move up the ranks and hopefully one day go to the Prem and fight with the big guys.
I started when I first started league racing many, many years ago now. I started in a very similar situation back then in my league that I was in. It was as we're going to slight night here in Spain. I started in a division called the World Series Reserves, and it was great fun to fight against them. And then certain drivers at the end of the season who weren't in the championship fight in the World Series, the higher division, who wanted to give up their seat for the younger one, but select a younger driver from the reserves to bring up. So that really opens up the choice of GP2 drivers that can then go, right, I'm not in the championship fight, say Daibush, for instance. He could think, I'm not in the championship fight, I'll give my seat to a GP3 driver this year for like the last two races, and I can have 2 weeks off.
Yeah, that's the way it could work. Also, when people can't make it, it's nice to have some lower leagues that can give people a chance. And like, if one of the quicker guys in GP3 wants to reserve in GP2, it's a nice experience and also a nice test for them if they want to move up the ranks and from there fight with the bigger guys.
All right, so let's run through the drivers we have in for the test night. On screen, we have the new boy, Vortex Krabs. That's going to be a fun name to say. But also here, moving around, there's a few drivers that we've seen before in SFR who come here for the test, and a few drivers that have come out of the woodwork in a long time. We have Alson Senegal, Collins, Primeval Rex, Psycho Mitch, Alco 12, who is a new driver to SFR, Aspheric, a returning driver from SFR, long time since we've seen him, Zippo, Vortex Crabs, C. Pasley, Racing Podge, Dr. Special Energy, Hegnulf, hope I got that right, and Connor Satchel, all doing the GP3 test for tonight. We have a rank more of drivers on the list, including Jade Rios and a few other drivers to think about. They will be joining later on in the testing series. But Hal, this is only testing, but these guys want to show off as best they can, and it's still a race. So what do you think they're going to do?
Hopefully we'll see both some quick laps and some good racing and some close racing, hopefully. This will be a nice showing for what we will see for the upcoming season. We might see some people improving from now until the start of the season. So, as in real life, it's just some testing, and it will be exciting to see what the drivers can bring to the table today.
It definitely will. I'm really excited about this because the advantage of having 3 divisions is that we sort of screwed out a little another streamer. Now we can't reveal who that streamer is yet, but that does open up the possibility of possibly seeing a little number 13 reappearing on one of the SFR cars.
Yeah, I've heard some rumors that a certain someone is going back to racing in SFR, and hopefully it will be as Sperrick retires from the session.
Alright, so Aspheric, unfortunately, either deciding he cannot do qualifying or is unable to, or has caused terminal damage to his cars. We're looking at Vortex losing a little bit through the final chicane, then heading on to the main start-finish straight. Obviously, Formula One not a stranger to testing right now, as Hegloff, who I just did switch onto, has gone straight into the pit lane. They're not a stranger to Formula One cars right now, as they have pre-season testing going on right now in Formula One.
Yeah, it's a nice time to have a testing, as that's what's happening in real life F1 at this point of time. So very relevant.
It's wonderful that we launched this. To be fair, I didn't know that we were doing, as Alston Senegal comes in, immediately goes for a 1:19.3. All of these times in qualifying are going to be corroborated against the GP2 and the Premier times to see how these drivers will pair out. And we can see where they're going to be most suited. Again, for GP3, it's going to be its whole new thing, and I'm really excited to see what the GP3 drivers can take us through.
Yeah, it's probably going to be more spread out than we're used to in both the Prem and GP2. But as I've said, hopefully they can bring some clean and good racing for us in the booth to react to.
Yep, normally, as you know, I'm SFR's resident screamer. I'll scream about anything and everything, even on my new headset, which I really don't want to break. And Hal's cold, calculated, and even a little bit Norwegian. Oh wait, he is a lot Norwegian, he's from Norway. I'm trying really hard, man. Not had coffee today yet. So we're looking at Collins now coming through the final couple of corners. I mean, what you don't know, some of these drivers actually, me and Hal race against in other leagues, and we appear about in other places. Because me and Hal, we don't just go into like suspended animation as Collins goes fourth. We don't just go into suspended animation when during the time when the league's like during like the weekend. We're off doing other things, aren't we? We're off racing or talking about other things in other places. So we've met not a lot of, but we've met a few of these drivers by doing that, and it's interesting to see like Collins and Connor, for instance. I race against both of them, and so do you, Hal, and they push us a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, we have great battles with a lot of guys sitting in this grid. I've had Alston Senegal as my teammate in GP2 this entire season, actually, and you could recognize names from the past like Asperic. We know both Racing Boy and C. Pastley from our league, so it's a lot of well-known names coming together, and hopefully they can have some fun together.
It's also fantastic, again, as Primeval Rex improves with 118.2 to pole position. It's fantastic to think that some drivers, like, as you said, Aspheric and Racing Podge, a Racing Podge who's been with us on and off for the past few weeks, but Aspheric, who left, I think, midway through, or at the end of Season 1, that he's returned to SFR. I mean, that's just brilliant to think he's come back after nearly 2 seasons, nearly 2 years out of Formula 1.
Yeah, it's great to have him back. He is one of the originals, if I remember correctly, from the first season, and it's great to have him back.
See, we're getting a rush of us. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Hello to everyone who's coming out to join us to watch this pre-season test and to see how everyone was going to do. We're looking at Hegluf. Now, Hal has a little bit more information on Hegluf than any of us will ever know, as this is Hal's older brother. So, Hal, are you you going to pull the Nicholas Hamilton thing, and are you going to be better at him than racing?
He's new to racing, or new to the Formula 1 game, so I'm excited to see what he can do in this league, as he's a couple of seconds off the pace at the first lap here, so hopefully he can do great, and after some races with experience, I think that he will do great in this division.
That's the whole thing about racing leagues. We're all here to improve all the time, always here to push our limits and improve on where we have been, you know? And I think it'd be brilliant, like a driver like Heglu, who has not driven in a Formula 1 game before, to go immediately from not doing it into a league race, that would be pressurised. To stick him in GP2, he'd be nowhere. But this is where GP3 comes in, and GP3 is just going to help a lot of drivers who are, say, not up to speed, like Pro Oliver, for instance. He wasn't up to speed initially at the start of the F1 game. Excuse me, and then he joined, and now he's since left because he just cannot fathom why he's so slow. This is the place where drivers who aren't confident in their division will go. If they're not confident in Prem, we'll drop them down into GP2. If they're not confident in GP2, we'll drop them down to GP3. If they're not confident in GP3, we're just going to keep improving until they are.
Yeah, and this is a great place for improving, because it's hopefully going to be somewhere where people are nice to each other in the chats and really want each other to do great. And I hope that we get some future really quick guys from this division, and hopefully some of these names we see on the screen today will have a promising career in the Formula 1 game.
It'd be fantastic to watch. Imagine if we were started commentating on someone from GP3 who then went up and then ended up in the F1 esports. Can you imagine the ego boost me and Hal would get?
Wouldn't be good for any of us.
No, it wouldn't. But it'd be great for that person, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would be really happy for anyone that comes from here, and if someone here can go up to the GP2 or the Prem, it would be a great achievement. And it doesn't really matter who it is, it would be a great achievement anyway.
And obviously, there's the talk of if a driver has been dropped down to a division, that's not to be ashamed of. That's just because we think you're going to be doing a little bit better in that other place. There's no like, oh, you've not done well, so we're dropping you down. We're just thinking, hey, this is a place where we think your skills will be more matched and more improved and give for more fun racing. That's the entire point of league racing. To be competitive, yes. To take it seriously, yes, but also to have fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you should see me on a weekly basis when I'm racing. Normally, I get incredibly grumpy because I'm not winning. And then last week, it ended up in a 1-2 for you and me on the podium, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great race for us. But
it really was.
We're not here today to talk about our achievements. We're here to talk about Primeval Rex on pole and Connor Setchell right behind him.
Alright, so Aspheric has unfortunately left the session. I think that's down to lag. Hopefully he can rejoin us. Looking good so far, says Lee. Yes, our resident writer and analyst, says Lee, is saying it's looking good. Yes, everyone being well behaved on track. As you see, Alco go up into third. Now, Alco, we've raced against Alco. He's a lovely chap, young Portuguese man who would like to push forwards on his racing career, and I think he's going to do some great things in GP2.
Yeah, hopefully it's a great place to start for everyone, really, and hopefully you can provide some good racing for everyone here. It would be a fun journey for us.
It would, as Dr. Spencer Energy goes for a nice special drift through the final corner and is able to get the power back on, shredding down into the final corner, which has then given him a time which is just a second and a half off. But I'm just going to have a look again at Hegluf, the only driver 3 seconds off the pace, but at least he's not last. Aspheric has got that medal with the fact that he's missing his time in general, as I completely forget how to speak. But this game is not easy. I mean, how many times have I said it on commentary? This game is not an easy game, is it?
No, it's not an easy game to master, and it takes a lot of practice session and a lot of racing to become somewhat competitive. And the journey is long, but it's fun. Close racing is fun. You get a real kick from it, and that's what we like to give these drivers.
It really is, and it's going to be a fantastic series. And obviously, this is only testing. If you want to get involved with GP3 or anything in SFR, drop us a message and we'll see what we can do with you. Dr. Special Energy has left the session. I think that's also down to lag. But it will be fun to see what the GP3 drivers can do. These races will hopefully be running on a Tuesday night, streamed by myself and another driver, as we're looking at Alton Senegal running number 4 in a McLaren. Are we sure it's Alsan, or are we sure it's a little British driver from Somerset called Lando Norris?
Well, Lando, I think, have bigger and better things to do these days, but
see, Lando skipped GP3. In just completely off the subject of our GP3, but Lando skipped GP3, went straight to Formula 2 from European Formula 3.
Yeah. And he's suddenly in Formula 1 now.
Well, he's suddenly also second in the timing sheets in testing.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. So, what can we predict from this league? It'd be something great to see what these guys can do. Obviously, only 13 drivers on the grid tonight. I think only 12 if Aspheric doesn't rejoin. But still, it's a good thing to see how these drivers can race against each other, see what they can do, see whether the GP3 division is happy. And I think, to be fair, from what I've seen in the chat has been so engaged. The chat has been nice and friendly. I think they're already becoming firm friends. We've not even started the season yet.
No, and if we look at the times, Primeval Rex sitting in pole, and you have to go down to 9th place to be over a second behind, so it's really close at the moment.
It really is going to be interesting, but Connor Setchell immediately ruining that lovely aesthetic by going a 1:17.6, and Dr. S Special Energy has also retired from the session once more, left the session again. But nonetheless, it's going to be a fantastic thing. But one thing we have to say is that these drivers will not be unleashed onto the track until August with the until season 4, not August. We're going to launch them into season 4 alongside Prem and GP2. So we're going to be seeing what they can do on this game. So they'll still be driving on this game for season 4 as we always are, and then we'll be heading over to the 2019 game when that is released. And we've all, decided that we want to murder ourselves by buying another game, which is going to be terrible online. Thank you, Codemasters.
Hopefully the game will improve for the next one. I think this year's game has been an improvement from the last year, but still a lot of weird things happening online, and they still have some work to do.
They definitely do, but obviously that will come with time, and we will discuss all of that soon. But mainly the fact that now we have 2 minutes remaining of this GP3 qualifying session for the pre-season race. Obviously, the race will only be about 15 minutes long here in Spain, but it still gives us a good idea of what these drivers can do. Damage is on reduced, so if you get a broken front wing, if you watch Collins immediately cutting a corner and then paying the price, that's what you get with the final chicane. DRS open, but he crosses the line. He does not set the lap time, but it is slower than his initial one. Steve Pasley has retired in Sector 3, but it's all getting very interesting. I mean, Connor and Primeval Rex both race in GP2. They're testing their legs in the water right now to see what they can do. We're looking at Zippo, who is a race winner in GP2. The Singapore Grand Prix, he won that. But it'd be fun to see what these guys can do. I mean, they're here to see, the GP2 drivers are here to see what the GP3 drivers can do. Also, they're here to see whether they're more suited for GP3. We know that Zippo's abandoned his wheel for this event and has gone for his controller. I mean, and immediately goes up to second. that shows the GP2 speed that they have, isn't it?
Yeah, it's some guys here who probably gonna be uh, quite quick for the division, but
Whoa, Hegluff is in the barriers! Oh, easily done at that corner there for the Toro Rosso. It's the corner just heading after the DRS straight. Easily done, but yeah. You know what I mean? The tiny chicane, which is horrendous, you know?
yeah, you feel like you're flying through that. And
There's
got
no grip whatsoever.
no
But
grip,
just
no.
caught it on stream, and Hegluff, difficult qualifying session for him, but nonetheless, he's doing well. To be fair, I think on my first Formula 1 game, I couldn't make it through the corners on every assist possible, including braking assists, so he's doing immensely better than me, bearing in mind I was about 11 when I got my first Formula 1 game. Racing Pod's retiring in P4, but qualifying is now over. So I take a sip of my pint, as always.
Do we have someone? Alco is going through the last sector right now, and hopefully for him it will set a quicker time and look to be up with the top 3 guys. I don't have his time up, but I'm sure he's gonna be close. He's on 17-9, third place.
That is a
to
very...
see what Primeval Rex is coming. Oh, he cut that chicken. It might have invalidated his lap there. Gonna be exciting to see what he does when he crosses the line in P4 still.
Yeah, down by 6/10. We are looking at Psycho Mitch, the final driver, apart from Hegluff, who is on the lap time. Coming through the final couple of corners is Mitch. Mitch is an accomplished driver that I know pretty well now, shaking the wheel as he goes across the line. DRS open. Now he crosses the line. He goes to... No, he's down on his time. Where is Hegluff? Yellow flags. Looks like he made the same mistake again as dirting his tyres. He won't be improving on his lap time, but it's still okay. It's still not last for Hegluff.
Oh, he got one person behind him. You have to finish the qualifying to be to beat someone, so it's not last for sure.
But still,
yeah, it's a start.
It is a start for everyone here in GP3. That was a start and a half to see what all the drivers can do. So here are the qualifying positions as we head over. Here we go. So we have Connor Satchel in P1 ahead of Zippo in P2, Alco in P3, Primeval Rex is in P4, Racing Podge is in P5, and Alison Senegal is in P6, Collins is in P7, Psychomix is in P8, and Supazzi is P9, Dr. Special Energy is in P10, Vortex Crabs is in P11, and Hegluff is in P12, Aspheric unsure if he is going to be racing. But you can see there's a clear line, I think. I think from the 18s down is really where GP3 drivers really start, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it looks that way, and I think some of the quickest guys here might be a bit too quick for the division, but it's not that's not us to decide where the guys are gonna be. So for now, they're here on the tests, and we're gonna cover it as best as we can.
We definitely will. The idea of what we're going to do, we should be having, I believe it's weekly tests, I want to say, weekly tests between for the GP3 drivers, try and get all of them in. And then...
That's the plan, yeah.
Yeah, to then culminate it at the end of the SFR season with the announcement of the GP3 division of who made it where, who's going where and all that. And then it will be reconfirmed as we head into season 4. And that will be nice and exciting to see what everyone can do.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be exciting. And hopefully we'll get some good racing here now.
Alright, so we're going to be heading onto the formation lap. Yep, Connor leads us away here in Spain for the test, for the GP3 pre-season test race. Obviously this will be a one-stop race here in Spain. As we've seen most of them transition from the super soft tyres to the soft tyres, rather than Supazzi, who has just been disqualified. He will be going from the soft tyres to the super soft tyres. But yes, so the top 3, apart from Alco, I think the top 2 we're really either going to leave alone or keep an eye on them at the most of it. This is obviously GP3, but they are very quick. Both GP2 drivers anyway. So they'll be racing again tomorrow. If you want to see what Zippo and Connor can be up to tomorrow, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race around Mexico tomorrow, so be sure to tune in for that, everyone who listens.
Yes, we'll be seeing, obviously, Aspheric, unfortunately, I don't think he has rejoined us. We'll be seeing the battle after last week's monumental fight in Kota. We'll see what everyone can do there. After Linnell took a win, took a big chunk of points off you there, Hal.
Yeah, he closed, or he went past me in the championship.
Oh, yes,
so,
he's leading the championship now. But we will discuss that all tomorrow in the pre-show, which starts at 7:25, where I'll be joined with AJ as the drivers will now line up here in GP3, line up for their first pre-season race, and we can see what they can be up to.
Yeah,
I wonder where they're going
getting close to the line now, so...
Yeah. I wonder where they're going to shove the GP3 drivers next week. It'd be interesting to see if they test them on all, like, little circuits. We've got obviously the natural test circuit here in Spain. We're going to shove them in Baku or Singapore. That'd be nice and fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. I think probably will be at the testing courses like France. And as we go, lights out.
Lights are out and the drivers are away. Now, no, big hold, and there they go. And a big slide there from Zippo in P2, who's going to put him under pressure from Alco. Alco, who's pushing to go past Connor. This is the longest run down into turn 1 in Formula 1. And then you see down the inside goes Collins. And it's ping pong into T1. And there's a slide, and that is Zippo making contact with Alco. And those two getting bunts down the field. And they head over and down towards the second part of the race. And already Collins pushing hard, wanting to dive bomb past Alston Senegal as much as he can. Down the inside of Alston Senegal, Racing Podge is now down at the back of the field. And now Zippo is, oh god, aggressive driving from lots of these drivers right now. And you see Psychomich slipping up and past Alston Senegal. And the drivers all aggressively sliding through. See Patsy now trying to get past Krabs.
Yeah, do we got someone who's going for the overtake? Oh, Alfa Romeo almost lost it out on the straight there.
Drivers pushing like it's nobody's business. And there it is, Krabs has lost it, the Alfa Romeo off the track. And now down the inside goes Dr. Special Energy. A little bit of an ambitious move there. And Alston Senegal is now in the gravel, losing it in the same place Hegluff did during qualifying.
As Zippo goes for a move on Dr. Special Energy, and he's made it go. He might come back at him.
You see the difference between some assists that drivers are running. But here's Racing Podge. Racing Podge on the back of Dr. Special Energy. Dr. Special Energy has got nothing in defence from the Ferrari. The Ferrari looking to go down the inside. He is still there, going for a dive bomb there from Podge. But he's a little bit slow on the exit, on the apex of the corner, which has cost Dr. Special Energy some time.
I see Pasley trying to go
on
at the outside of Alco, but I think he's covered him off. Oh, he's up the inside and trying to go side by side into the next left-hander, and he's made it.
Very aggressive there from Pasley. Did involve a little bit of a push, a little bit of a shove, but nothing really to inevitable knock Alco out, the 23 car. Alston Senegal in the pit lane for a new front wing. See Zippo dropping down. Zippo in the barrier, actually. The GP2 winner in Singapore in the barrier. Damage on the nose of his Alfa Romeo. And then Hegluff, brilliant move from Hegluff, knowing how to avoid the car in front of him. Very well done there from Hegluff. You can tell him that later, Hal.
So Zippo tries to get past him again, maybe? No. Still going behind as Hegluff went wide, but Zippo went wide as well. So they're still going side by side as Hegluff catches some grass, but still not the move from Zippo. Zippo might have some damage for all I know.
Zippo does have damage on his left side front wing, sorry, right side front wing. And now you see the difference here. Collins is the GP2 reserve driver aiming to cut his...
As Zippo crashed into the pit lane and his tires are trying to make their way to the pits, but they don't have any car, don't have any cars with it.
That'll be an embarrassing one. Thank God we missed it on stream. But now you see the Hasses. The fight in the American cars have heated up, and you can see for a fact now that Pasley is looking to pass Psychomich, but is he managing to do it at this point in time? No, he hasn't managed it. The man on the harder compound tyres, obviously, they're very close together. Psycho doesn't have the same speed that Pasley has. Pasley had to lift off in the straight. He was so close to the back of him.
Yeah, he's going to try a move now. I'm sure of it. He's got DRS on Psychomich and trying to go around the outside. He's going for a switchback, and I think Psychomich is wide, and yeah, both Alco as well got past.
Oh, has he? Because Alco's just lost the rear end a lot on the entry, hitting the curb on the inside. But yes, he is ahead of Psychomich now. You can already see how tight the racing is here in GP3. Vortex clouting the curb, and now you see someone in the pit lane. That is Psychomich.
Alco and Psychomich, yeah. Both.
Now Primeval Rex going for a move on Collins for P2. He has done it. Primeval Rex slicing up the inside. The man who does commentary with me on the Premier Division has made it his way through. And look at that, a nice move there from the Red Bull, but it seemed to be a little bit of screen freeze, and then Rex going a little bit off track there. I don't know if that was down to lag or down to a little bit of controller issues there from the disabled driver. Now C Pasley starting to close in on these guys. Remember, C Pasley is going to be on the hardest, he's going to be on the softer compound later on in the Grand Prix than everyone else. And Connor has got to pick the right time to pit. He has a 5-second gap, a 6-second gap almost. And now you see Collins, he's got his eyes on trying to pass Primeval Rex. He's on the back of the Red Bull. Is he going to chuck it up the inside? No, he doesn't. His corner tightening so early up. I mean, what do you make of GP3 so far, Hal?
It's entertaining and close racing, so I think the drivers are enjoying themselves out on the track, and hopefully the viewers are enjoying this as well, as it's good and close racing.
It definitely is. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, thank you, Mark, for the commentary vibes as always. Hello, Panda, haven't seen you in a long time. And now you see Pasley with his engine glitch is having a look at the inside of Collins. No, he's going to decide to try and go around the outside. Is he going to chuck it at the inside? No, he has not managed to do so. But he has almost got close to the back of the Renault in the apex. I currently forget how to speak.
As I'm getting the chat up on my phone beside me, so yeah, then I got full control of the guys in the chat.
Pasley now going round the outside of Collins. I don't remember which number turn this is, but he has managed to make it stick. What an inspired move there from the Irishman. Now he's going to go chasing after the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, and they're all close up, both Primeval X, Pasley and Collins. And Racing Boy is quite close as he almost loses it up onto the DRS straight.
Oh, down the inside is Pasley! That was an aggressive move, and I think that was a late move there for the Irishman, who has made the move, and now Primeval Rex is still ahead, and by a little bit of a distance now from the Haas.
Yes, we see Alco closing up to Hegnuf, probably going to go for a move out on the next DRS straight.
So Primeval Rex and Connor Satchel both pit the same as Collins, and Racing Pod carries on. Let's go back down to that battle with Alco, who's getting close to Hegluf.
Yeah, coming around to the chicane now as Hegnus goes wide and blowing Alco up quite a bit, and I think he's going into the pits, yeah.
That could have been down to damage on his nose, but he is now into the pit lane, and there's still a 1.7 second gap between 1 and 2, and that's Racing Pod and C Pasley, but now Alco's up there as well. Driver struggling. Dr. Special Energy is struggling as now Alston Senegal's trying to go down into trying to go down the inside at the final corner. Dr. Special Energy absolutely cutting up the McLaren, but now the McLaren's got the run on him. DRS open. The McLaren pushing as hard as he can. He's going down the inside of the Red Bull. The Red Bull has got no answer to that McLaren Renault. Are we sure that isn't a Red Bull Honda in the back of that car yet?
Yeah, be exciting to see what Red Bulls can do with some Honda power in them. So that's somewhere else in Spain or in a different universe. That's exciting.
So now Connor Satchel on the back of Primeval Rex. These two are fighting. Primeval Rex actually jumping him in the pit, and Connor going for an inspired dive bomb, which has caused him to pass him. Look at that. Rex, no defence there from the Mercedes. That mighty Merc just slicing up and down the inside.
And how was Alco past Connor?
Alco's on the medium tyres. He pitted early.
They both have pitted once, and Connor was in a 5-second lead.
Ah, that might be down to the fact that Connor got caught out by all of the drivers who were coming in to stop at the same time. But Alco is now the fastest man on the track at Ferrari, pushing as hard as he can as Racing Podge pulls into the pit lane and Vortex Crab's getting a time penalty.
I think the one sitting in the best place right now is either Alco or C. Pasley, as C. Pasley is going to be really quick at the last couple of laps.
Alright, so now you're looking at Collins trying to get past Racing Podge, trying to go down the inside at turn 4, I want to say this is, on the run down to turn 5. He's made the move here before, Racing Podge knows he will, and Collins down the inside, but Podge just sitting in the middle of the road, trying to force him out, but it's not worked as Collins is through, and the Swedish driver is pushed down one more position.
As there's someone off track, I don't know, that's Haas, I thought?
Was it Psycho Mitch?
Was it Psycho Mitch, probably? Yeah, I think so. Psycho Mitch was off track.
Oh, contact between Alco and Connor. Connor again going for the dive bomb on the Portuguese driver at the same hairpin he did on Primeval Rex. It hasn't happened. Lots of lag off the back of these two actually tonight.
Yeah, I see they lag a bit around, but hopefully that fixes itself.
But now you see Connor is going to have the run on the straights. He's the fastest man on track. The GP2 driver pulls to the inside in his familiar Mercedes. And now you see on the back the lag symbol popping up on the side of Connor's car. And Alco pushing as hard as he can to try and get up to the back of that driver.
That's a corner cut from Primeval Rex, turning into quickly and caught some grass on his tires probably there, Primeval Rex.
Easily done for all of his drivers. Now Collins once more at the back of Racing Podge. He's a little bit too far behind to, I think, make a move here.
As Alton Senegal gets passed by Dr. Special Energy back in the P9 and 10.
Alsan isn't going to take that line down. The number 4 McLaren. No, it's not Lando Norris. It is, in fact, Alsan Senegal, the Norwegian driver, trying to push his way past Dr. Special Energy. It's not really happening right now, is it?
No, it seems like they are really evenly matched on pace, these two drivers, and looks like they're going to have a great battle for the remainder of this race.
Yes, only we're past the halfway point now in the race. We're on lap 9 out of 17. C. Pasley as our leader after not stopping versus Connor, who has. Connor being our net leader, but Pasley will be coming back at him later on in the Grand Prix.
And look at Collins now going close up to Racing Poi and probably going to try a move into turn 1 now with DRS open.
These two battling like their life depends on it. Podge is trying to defend. He moves to the inside and defending. Now Collins on the outside trying to push his way through. The number 12 driver, has he managed it? He has managed it. Squeezing past the Ferrari. And that Ferrari is not able to defend. But in sector 3 we have a yellow flag.
I guess that was Hegner.
It might have been a contact between a couple of drivers, but Hegluf is still going in P11. Well, he's not last, that's all I'll say. Racing Podge getting past Collins. Wow, these two actually going at it like their life depends on it, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really close and both of them get their elbows out for a great fight right now.
Felix, who is Fefster, has just won the internet for this week already, and the week's only just begun. Because he's put, go on Podge, defend like a Viking.
Yeah, there are multiple Vikings in this division right now, with both one Swede and one Norwegian. And I know about
2 Norwegians.
At least one more Norwegian. No, just one Norwegian in this session right here.
Alsan? Alsan's Norwegian, isn't he?
Nope.
Is he not? Oh, he's Dutch. I do apologise.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about his nationality, but I think I would have known if he was Norwegian.
There's a Dutch flag on his name, but you know. Okay, down the inside goes Collins, trying his hardest into T1, this time aggressively pushing with Racing Podge, again defending very well. The Ferrari against Renault fight. Will we be seeing this in Formula 1 this year? Who knows? But Racing Podge defending well. Again, it seems that Collins is much faster at this point in the track, and he's going to try and send it every corner he gets. But later on, it's where Racing Podge is faster.
Yeah, they're really putting up a show for us right now, and it's the closest battle on track, so it's the battle we should keep our eyes on.
It is not the only battle on track though. Primeval Rex and Alco is brewing. Red Bull, versus Ferrari versus Renault versus Ferrari. And there you see in the foreground that's happening too. As you see, Collins, has dropped back a little bit on pace after a few mistakes on Racing Pod. But now Pasty finally pits with a 14-second lead. He's going to have a 7 or 8 lap stint on the super soft tyres, I assume, for the hat.
Yeah, he's going to have a really good pace at the end of this race, so it's be exciting to see what he can do.
So Connor only just passes him as he gets into the pit lane, and now he's going to drop down the grid. I think he's going to drop behind these guys as well, but it's going to be a difficult pass. No, it's not, because there, Collins is only just passing the Ferrari. Ferrari is not going to be able to defend at this point, but Pasley has a bit of clear air to now charge through the field and try and pass these guys and go for the win. It's entirely possible that he could still go as Racing Podge goes very high up onto the corner, and Podge is now on the attack like the raiding Vikings he's trying to emulate.
And as Fefster's writing in the chats, it really is the tasty battle right now.
It is. Everyone pushing as hard as they can, and it's interesting to see how the GP3 drivers can perform. And I think it's fantastic to watch this. A small 25% race. It still gives us a good idea of what these guys can do as Racing Polish does claim a time penalty now due to his over-exuberance with track limits, but he's not going to go down the inside as Connor would do, the Ferrari aiming to push harder and prove that he can pass on track rather than dive bombing.
And look at that beautiful helmet in the Ferrari of Racing Point. Really matches the car great.
I'm trying not to. Red and white, yes, the colours of Ferrari in that on that helmet. Though it's red and black now, isn't it?
Yeah, they've changed a bit and a bit more matte color, so it'll be exciting to see how it turns out on the next game.
Okay, now Collins is trying to defend now from Podge. Podge chucking in up the inside 100-metre board. He's got it right. Collins is back ahead though in turn 2, and that has put a big dampener on Podge's hopes of catching him. Yes, he passed me very close to the back of Primeval Rex now.
He goes in the inside.
He's passing him rather than being close to the back of him. He's passed him.
And Primeval Rex tried to get back at him, but can't make it.
Very close there, but Rex is now gonna. Well, I mean, at that point, you're gonna think, okay, he's on the fastest compound tyres. Let him go.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see what Pasley can do against Alco now, and maybe even Connor at the end of the race.
He's not got long, and we won't have long to find out. The race is coming to a close as the lap time board, the lap number, tumbles or rises even, and we're starting to see what these drivers can do in a racing condition, and it's fantastic to watch.
Yeah, it's really great at the moment. Really exciting seeing all these battles out on the track, and a bit more unpredictable than the other leagues, as some more mistakes might happen, and therefore, Pasley going for a move into the first corner, and I think he's made it.
Pasley making a move as we're looking at Racing Podge battling hard with Collins, which has prevailed in Podge's favour. The Swede has passed the Briton, and now Collins is on the back foot. But as you said, yes, Pasley making a move into T1. Now he's charging after Connor.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what Pasley can do against Connor right now, and I don't know if any of them has penalties, but it's going to be a great battle between them.
Well, we just saw Dr. Special Energy try out the inside of Krabs, but it hasn't happened, and Vortex is still ahead of Dr. Special Energy. So the gap at the top of the field right now is 4 seconds, but that's coming down rapidly. Look at that, nearly 3-4 tenths he's got in one corner.
Yeah, it's really closing up, and his tires is going to die off a bit at the end of the laps, or come to the end of the race, but I think he'll be able to make up some ground as he takes like half a second just in one corner there.
Pasley is pushing hard. I've just seen a Norwegian gamer. Hello, Twan. How you doing, mate? I just popped in the chat, immediately claiming that I'm his conscience. I am his conscience. Everyone knows that he actually hears me in his head when he goes to sleep or he's trying to buy something. Do I really need this? Yes, you do. Vortex defending fantastically from Special Energy, but Special Energy chucks it with better drive up the inside of the Sauber, and what a run there. I tell you what, that's a run I've not seen since anything. I've actually watched that back on my little replay camera, because he just got a fantastic run on him.
Who?
Dr. Special Energy, he just sliced past Vortex. Is that the soft tyres dying in this shortened race with heightened tyre conditions?
Might be, actually.
Alright, so in all of this, the battles are heating up once more because 3.3 seconds separates the tops. Vortex cutting the corner and gaining a position has resulted, and that's Vortex out of the section. Maybe that's Vortex having enough of racing in tonight's practice session.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully he'll get his head back up and be ready for the next test session.
Yes, it will be very interesting to see what everyone can do. Now, see Pasley, 3.7 seconds, losing a little bit on the straight versus Connor, but I think overall he's gaining time. Only got 3 laps to do it, and if he keeps that slide under control, he can do it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Pasley's caught that much up to Connor right now, so I think that the chances of Pasley winning is in the hands of Connor if he could get the penalty or something like that.
I think Pasley has a penalty as well. But another battle that is also brewing is now Racing Podge on Primeval Rex.
Yes, inside. Oh, as Hegdolf has lost it into the last sector. I don't really know where he is right now, but
again, easily done. Easily done for a rookie driver, as Hegloff is. Now, when I say rookie driver, normally everyone assumes, rookie driver in the league. No, I'm talking genuine rookie driver with Hegloff. And he's doing a good job. At least he's sticking with it to keep pushing. Except for that bit.
He retired, actually.
Oops. That is the ultimate commentator's curse there, isn't it?
He probably saw that he was being caught up by the lead runners and didn't want to get in their way, so...
So Primeval Rex gaining a time penalty, Racing Podge getting another one as well for hitting the curb and unable to stop the car. Now, C. Pasley is nearly just over 3 seconds away from Connor. Connor getting a time penalty now, but that is not going to help Pasley. I think Pasley has got one of his own, so he's going to pass him on track, unless Connor has 2. But yes. Also, the mic quality, is the mic quality down, is it? Norwegian Gamer, I need to listen to it back on a new headset. So if anyone has any tips on how to use it, I'd be greatly appreciated on it. Still Racing Podge now.
Is now.
Yeah. Go on.
Racing Point now closing up to Primeval Rex, and hopefully they will have a great battle come the last lap now, and Racing Point would have DRS coming onto the straight and the first corner. Oh, I see. He went wide there.
Went wide, but was able to course it. Was Racing Podge. No buzzing. I'm aiming to get a standalone mic eventually. Everyone, it just takes time and money. And right now I shelled out for this headset, so I'm going to keep this headset for as long as I can. Now Connor is coming on to start the final lap. The GP2 driver showing the drivers how it's done in GP3, but I tell you what, nonetheless, it's been a fantastic one. Sounds like Harry Potter's bedroom, apparently. Yeah, no buzzing at least.
Yeah, as long as the static sound is not there, it's an improvement in my...
Yeah. Down the outside, sorry, goes a Racing Podge. I was looking at the chat. Primeval Rex defending with all his worth down the inside, and look at that. Podge just not able to pass him. In all of that, I was looking at the chat rather than looking at it. But Podge defending well, and down the inside goes the Swedish driver.
Wow.
What an aggressive move for the Ferrari. Has he got it? Oh, Rex, unfortunately, not able to keep turning.
Yeah,
easily done, though.
Connor's into the last sector of the race right now, so it's been a great one for him.
It has indeed. The GP2 driver stretching his legs But I tell you, who else is straightening their legs is Alco. I think the super soft tyres died midway through that stint.
As Pepster's claiming that it was a Viking move from Racing Point.
Yeah, it really was. But now Connor comes around the final corner to finish in first place in SFR. The pre-season test one claimed by Connor Satchel in the Mercedes. But who's in P2? Is it Alco? It's Alco on the road versus C. Pasley. A very close crash and a crash between the AI drivers. Racing Podge finishing in fourth. And Collins, I think, will finish. Collins finishing in fourth due to primary correct and Racing Podge's penalties. Then here comes Mitch, driver who was hiding away. Down the inside goes across the line. Sorry, finishing in seventh. And Special Energy will finish in P9. Drivers who did not finish this pre-season race were Hegloff, Vortex Crabs, Zippo, and Aspheric, who didn't even reach the start.
As Alton Senegal lost it in the final corner, and he's doing donuts actually. So
is he now? Let's have a look.
That must be a great victory for him in the first test of the season.
Yeah, number 4 is going to be taken from me at the end of the season.
Some donut practice for the end of the season in
doing some practice for next year.
Yeah.
So here is the first pre-season test. Podium filled with Ferrari, Mercedes, and Haas. Connor Satchel, the GP2 driver, finishing in P1 ahead of Alco, the new driver, and then C. Pasley, returning man, in P2. 3. I know numbers.
It was a great start for this division, and hopefully we'll get some more people in and some more good battles.
It definitely will do. So here are the final results for the pre-season test. Connor Satchel in P1, the Alco in P2, Pasley in P3, Collins in P4 on penalties ahead of Primeval Rex in P5, Racing Podge in P4, and Psychomich in P. Let's try it again. Primeval Rex in P5, Racing Podge in P6, Primeval. Too many P's. Psycho Mitch in P7. Dr. Special Energy is in P8. Alton Senegal is in P9. And Hegloff is in P10. Racing Vortex Crab, is in P11. And Zippo was in P12. Okay. What a way to start. What a way to welcome GP3 to SFR there, wasn't it?
Yeah, must be a great start for them. And hopefully we'll get them all back for next week's testing. And I think it will be it's a great start for this season, that's for sure.
It definitely will. Once again, we will not be seeing these drivers race in league conditions until Season 4 has begun after Season 3 has ended. So, what we're going to do, we're going to leave this test now. We'll be seeing everyone again next week for the GP3 test, and we'll see what they can all do come that race. But again, thank you, Hal, for joining us, and we'll be seeing a bit of you tomorrow, won't we, on track?
Yeah, hopefully. I will be there, so hopefully I'll be up in the front and make my impact on the race.
All right, so what's happening this week in SFR? Well, this week we're seeing the SFR main leagues, the GP2 and Prem, make it to Mexico. So if you're excited to see what's going to happen in that, well, tune in tomorrow for GP2 and then Thursday for Premiere. My name is JB. Thank you, Hal, for joining us for the first pre-season test.
No problem, mate.
We will see you all next time for the GP3 test division and tomorrow for GP2. Have a wonderful night and good night, folks.